What's going on? We are back, Reality After Show. We are here hitting you with season 3 of the Traitors. We were back and we talked about the first couple episodes, dove into that. Now we just have to kind of go through 6 and 7. We'll jump around, we'll bounce around. It's ladies' night. I'm Lauren as always. Lyrsa joining me, and a double dose of Emily. How's everyone today?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Trying to feel better. I was sick, but I'm here.
Yeah, excited to see you all.
You're here. That's all that matters. Sickness is going around everywhere, but we have Traitors business to talk about. Where would we like to start? I feel as though we need to begin with the West of it all, because I did not think Boston Rob was going to be able to do it not once, but twice, and continue his road through the Traitors.
Yeah. I mean,
Silence.
I love Wes. As a child fan, I like Wes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sad to see him go, but I mean, it was an iconic exit. And we got Brittany's iconic line of, make it 6, Wes. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I mean, he has to write. He was right. Like Wes, I think just failed to convince enough people. And I was surprised that after his exit, folks didn't clock Rob harder.
Yeah. I have never been a Wes fan since his first season of Road Rules. I think he's too cocky. He is a very smart guy, but I hate his whole, I'm a member of Mensa. That's bullshit. You're not. And I don't know how people don't Google this guy and figure out like he's fucking lying, or see him in other shows with his like antics. But I will have to say, I was rooting for him on this show.
Yes.
Wes, Boston Rob, man, I'm gonna go with Wes 100%. Like,
it almost felt, if you think about it, Wes and Boston Rob are very similar in how they play their games.
Yes.
Where Wes likes to go, if anybody who watches the challenge, you know this, Wes likes to go with the rookies and find one or two or a few that are like kind of alone and make a little alliance. So he likes to influence them, and it usually works time and time and time again. No matter how many times people are warned, they still go with Wes.
Yeah.
And Boston Rob does the same thing whenever he plays Survivor. He always finds, or whatever game he's playing when he was on Dondi, like Deal or No Deal Island, sorry.
The buddy system.
Yeah, he does that, like, he gets in and everybody knows it, but it works every time. So it was kind of funny in a weird way watching them go head to head. It was like a clash of the buddy system titans.
Yeah. I feel like Wes should have started his campaign against Rob earlier.
Yeah, and tell different people.
In our last one about like the value of sort of staying quiet so you're not targeted by the traitors, which I think is a fair strategy. But then the problem is then you dwindle down the number of faithfuls. And so when you are ready to attack, you, sorry to say, sometimes have some of the less intelligent faithfuls around because they've been the ones who have been able to make it, or I should say less strategic, good at this game. We're not going to equate that with intelligence. Scratch that.
You said it, Emily. It's okay.
You might as well just keep on.
I don't actually mean it. I think like this is a very specific type of skill set. But like obviously one of the 3 people who was in those cages was going to be a traitor. And I feel like they didn't get that early enough.
I think that also goes back to the gamer's brain. Like the gamers were completely different as people like The Housewife or Vanderpump. Like it's a different dynamic on their shows. So I think that the gamers are always thinking like 3 or 4 steps ahead, and the non-gamers are just trying to catch up. So it's that. I think it makes it entertaining because they're like so clueless. I don't think they're dumb. I just feel like they're so clueless. Do your research. Like when you're gonna go into one of these games, you should like see at least a season or 2 so you know exactly what's going on and you don't feel lost in the game.
But I also feel like to that point, like on YouTube, I know like you can Google or you can watch like a shortened season in like an hour. of like the
Mhm.
challenge, the Big Brother Survivor. So like if I was going on these shows as a housewife or like somebody from a Netflix show, I feel like I'd be doing my research to know like what kind of strategy they go into it, because it's clear after season 2 that they're going with reality TV people fully. So
Mhm.
get to know the games that these people come from.
I can tell you 100% that at least on Survivor, if you are being recruited, they ask you to watch at least a season or two of the game so you get familiar.
Mhm.
And in Big
Still,
Brother, don't they watch it? They make them watch it
yeah,
in Sequester.
still, there's people that don't watch it. I can talk about my experience. When we went to Fiji, on the plane, they had game changers. So we had like 10 hours to watch a whole season there. Still, people didn't do it. And, just get familiar with the game. Just get familiar. So at least you have like some background of knowledge.
But even so, when it comes down to this cast of the Traitors, look at it this way. I believe some people are made out for this game and some people are just not. They are
Sam.
fillers.
Yes.
Well, yes, Sam, great. Ivar, hello. Brittany's comment about Ivar in comparison to furniture. Spot on. I love her one-liners. I love her takes. But seriously, come on.
Very Big Brother. Yeah.
And we knew this was going to happen. So we got rid of all the heavy hitters, and now we are left with a couple people I like.
Randoms.
Yes,
Randoms.
there's people I like still, don't get me wrong. But you have Sam, you have Ivar, Tom, fine. Comic relief, some points.
He can still go.
He can still go, but listen, Tom is part of the reason Rob's not here, so I'm happy you're back.
Oh, come on.
Now, yeah, you know what? Tom seems like a very crazy nugget, but I will give him props of taking Rob down, right? So
I just feel like Tom has had these crazy conspiracy evidences, but he doesn't know how to present it. He never knew how to present it well. Granted, we watched him detox from whatever he was taking in real life, but in real time, whatever. But I feel like he had sound ideas, but nobody, because of who he is, was listening to him. And I mean,
his eyes are so fucking crazy the whole time. I wouldn't trust him. Like, bro, you have crazy eyes. No.
But then again, you have people like Dolores, Chriselle, Ivar. I mean, Gabby's speaking, but she's not really like strategizing, which is good. But you have like these people that Sam, keep forgetting about him. He spoke for the first time last episode. But it's like, you're going to get to the end and these people are just going to steamroll because they're not figuring it out.
Right. Which is, I mean, that's been an effective strategy for the Traitors in the past. So
yeah,
it makes sense as to why they're repeating
Which is why I always say, get rid of the other people, get rid of these people first or in the middle. And then you have the louder people at the end to shield you.
I mean, it's smart that they haven't gotten rid of some of them, I guess I will say. But again, casting-wise, we didn't need them.
No.
Add somebody else. You could have added a couple different shows. It doesn't matter. Pull from different networks. I don't care, but they did not need to be there.
We don't need this random English royal person every season. Because last season, there was another person who got out first.
Where he came from. Like, he's in my draft, but
like, put him on
still
UK
don't know who
version.
this guy is. Yeah.
Or just don't. Guy? We don't need Britney Spears' ex-husband either.
Yeah. That too.
Dylan Efron is giving us something, but again,
that's what we didn't mention, Dylan, because Dylan is doing something. Dylan gives you a show. Why does it make the edit? I don't give a rip that they're playing badminton with each other. Why is that in the edit? I don't care. I do not need to see them. Oh, let's bond. We're playing badminton together. We're partners. I don't care. I don't care.
I love those moments, Lauren.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I do think the producers I think the producers would not want them all to watch past seasons. I feel like they enjoy having folks who are like not gamers at all on the season.
It's like, I get it with the mix of people, but you at least need, I feel like, half and half gamers, half not.
Yeah.
And maybe this was like that this season. I just don't remember from the start. But it's not fun watching these people not speak. And then the second somebody speaks a la Brittany, she's immediately targeted because she's finally speaking. Like that to me, and I know as a faithful, you have no autonomy in this game, so you'd rather be quiet because then they're gonna forget about you.
Yeah.
But if the second somebody speaks, they're gonna go after them because they're speaking. Oh, Brittany might be a traitor because now she's being loud and talking. Like, that doesn't make sense for me. But that's just me selfishly, because I'm like, people should start speaking more, and if you're silent, get off the show because you're doing nothing.
Right. Right. Or they're not
furniture
Yeah.
moving around.
So the roundtables are like an hour plus. They say like an hour to 3 hours. So it's possible.
I still think Sam is silent.
I mean,
what is he doing?
I don't enjoy him on this show. I feel like he gets no conviction.
That's one thing is, like, I understand, like, yeah, Dolores is speaking. She's saying things. She's not a gamer, but you don't have to be a gamer to, like, participate in the game. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, these people are like, Ivar, no one remembered he was there because he's not, like, he's furniture. So it's like, get people who are actually going to participate or say, like, you need to speak in this game.
Right.
I think some people don't know how to do it. I don't think people know how to speak. Some people are really good at that and being able to convince people. I think there's people in this cast that simply just can't do it, and that's why they're not saying anything, because they'll put their foot in their mouth because they know they can't do it.
Make good TV. Put your foot in your mouth.
I agree.
I'm bored of you, Sam and Ivar. I'm bored.
He's there for the food, guys. The food and the outfits, which I don't blame him. Those, like, skewers look really good the other day, and like, they have beef Wellington.
Yeah, there's a time and a place to be quiet. Like, I've played these kind of games. Like, we all know, like, there's a time you be quiet and there's a time you speak up. But if you're never speaking up, boo.
Right.
Tomato, tomato.
I think it would have been interesting had they have made, for instance, put a Tom, put a Sam, put an Ivar in that Traitors role at the beginning of the game to have made them do something, because you didn't necessarily need to have the Danielles, the Carolyns, because they were still going to give you something regardless if they were a traitor or a faithful. Now, don't get me wrong. They're in the correct position because it is so hilarious how this has gone down. I don't want them taken away, but I'm saying future reference, if you are not confident that these people are going to give you the correct television that you want them to do, make them a traitor to make them make a move and make them do something.
Yep. Producers, step in.
I'm just putting it out there. But I do want to talk about the challenge. Let's go to the episode 7 challenge, because this is what I'm more interested in talking about. The duos, the partners. We see Danielle and Brittany back together, if you will.
I mean, I think they're going to work together.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, the round table, they definitely did.
I think Danielle knows she needs Brittany on her side.
Yeah. And obviously Brittany doesn't seem to have any allies as a faithful, or if she does, they've been killed off her.
Right. I feel like she was Bambi adjacent. Yeah. But she was never in Bambi world.
Right. And I think she and Derek in the beginning were good, and then he, respected her. I
have something to say on Danielle when I can get there.
I've been rewatching it again because my housemate suddenly took interest in the show after I forced her to watch the first episode again. I don't get how nobody has brought Danielle into the radar.
That was my point.
Because, like, she's crying, like, at the table in the morning at the break. Yeah, her moves are so erratic that I will be like, why is she crying that much?
Or like when she didn't take the shield for herself.
That was
yes. There's been clues. Same with Boston Rob. Like, why is nobody mentioning her at all?
And the wild thing is that, like, yes, as an audience, we're like, oh my god, she's playing a horrible game as the traitor, blah blah blah. But nobody's suspecting her. So, like, is she playing a horrible game to the audience, or is she actually playing a good traitor's game because nobody's suspecting her? She just needs to, like, cool it a little bit. But is that working for her? Kind of crazy. Right. But I did read an interview that Brittany said that she clocked Danielle from the beginning, but she didn't say anything because she wanted to work with Danielle and keep her as long as she could.
Because she don't want to be killed off. That's what it is.
She was like, the second she was like acting erratic, she knew it was Danielle because she's been in a house with her.
Yeah. And I think it also speaks to like it is really hard to be a faithful. It is hard to figure this game out. It's so easy when we like on the couches can see and understand the behind. But I do feel like it would be so cool. And I know they'll never do this. The producers said they never do this, but to do a season where the audience doesn't know who the traitors are, because we might be just as clueless.
It's like The Mole, where you don't find out until.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, the challenge. I was interested to see who paired up with who, because you had Furniture and Furniture 2 with Sam and Ivar.
You had Gabby and Carolyn together.
Oh,
which
mother off.
Amazing. It was so good.
And I have to give Boston Rob credit here with Sierra. I mean, honestly,
I will.
You have to. You can't not.
Yes.
That's how you know he's a girl dad.
But he's good though. He's able to calm someone down that you know is visibly freaking out and saying, "We got this." He got Sierra there. He really did. And I think that was just a moment of showing he does genuinely care. It wasn't just about the money in that situation. Like, you can say whatever you want, but he really wanted to see her succeed. And that's where the dad instinct comes in.
And I think weren't they together as a pair when they did the balloon challenge, or was she with Wes?
She was with Wes. I think she was with Wes.
I forgot if she was with him.
Because I saw that episode 2 nights ago. Yeah.
In my head, you can tell that he's a girl dad because of how he treated her. But it was just a really sweet moment. And I know he's who he is, and people think, they have their opinions, but you can't fault him for how sweet he was to see her, being like, when's your birthday? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Like, all these things. It was really sweet, because I would be out immediately.
You'd be
I would give him props for that. Yeah.
I don't do bugs. No.
The only people who actually broke hands was Chriselle, right?
Just Chriselle was done. Yeah, it wasn't happening.
Like, come on, Chriselle. Girl, do it for the gays. Like, come on. You got this. But because the other folks who got out, it was just they didn't do it quick enough. There was some time component.
No, they were the only ones who didn't finish, didn't keep, because they had to hold hands for the 8 minutes with all the stuff going on it. And then if they held their hands for 8 minutes, they would have gotten they were safe from murder?
No, because then at the end, not enough people didn't.
Oh, they had to
find something.
They won the money for everybody, but
you were competing for money. Yes,
yeah. But it was it would have been one of those that, and then out of the pairs who faced against each other, the losing pair were up for murder. So it was like Sam and Ivar versus Tom and Dylan. And if one of those pairs broke before the 8 minutes, the other pair would have been up for murder. But because the only pair that didn't keep their hands were Chriselle and Dolores, they had to go to the sudden death round.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
I felt so bad for Dolores. Like, she was so upset.
Yeah.
Like, girl, it's not even 10 seconds. Like, what the fuck? And it's not like, I get it. A lot of people are scared of bugs, like Emily just said. But I feel that none of these shows will put you in a situation that you will actually be in danger.
Right.
You're
those scorpions weren't
die. Yeah.
They didn't have their pincers or whatever they're called. And the snakes weren't
Are they creepy? Possibly, but you're not gonna die about this.
Yeah.
With the situation. So that's a little bit my frustration when she just couldn't hold her hand. Like, you're not gonna die because of a worm. Creepy.
I probably would have lasted a little bit longer than her, but knowing me, I probably would have been like, oh, I hate creepy crawlers.
Girl, if it were you on me, I would have
you would have held her
hands. Yes.
But that's what I would have needed. Dolores didn't have that.
They didn't have that support. Yeah.
Because even Carolyn was like, Gabby, you want to break? Don't break. I'm going to hold on to you. But I also love when Carolyn was like, I don't want Danielle to murder Gabby. Yeah. So I'm going to do everything I can.
Right.
Yeah.
I was worried about them, but they pulled through. Because I think at the very end, when they started adding more things, I did not think Carolyn and Gabby were going to make it, but they did, and I was proud. But what I'm hearing is that we need to replicate this challenge on this little video thing.
No.
So our money where our mouths are.
Emily, I take all my compliments about you back.
I'm kidding. Do we know what type of snakes these are? Did we get that?
They're definitely not poisonous. They can't. I have the opinion, as Lyrsa is the producers are going to do their best, and they're not going to make things poisonous. Obviously, people can still get hurt, not in like serious ways, but in other ways from this. Like if a snake is wrapping itself around your neck, even if it's not.
But the snake handlers are right there.
They're taking that snake. If that snake starts looping around, that snake is coming off very, very quickly.
Right.
Because
they probably had to stop multiple times, probably, if that were to happen.
Right. But also, too, at that point, you don't want to run. You want to just stay right next to where the handler is, like, hello, let's get this off now, because absolutely not. But I like the challenge. They've done this the past 2 seasons prior to, so you kind of know what's coming, right?
Right, but as discussed, people don't watch the show, so I don't think you may know it's coming, but they don't.
Some people didn't watch the show before.
Well, last season, wasn't it? They were in the room. They were in the house.
It doesn't matter. There's bug elements to it, is what I mean by that.
This was the first one that they did it where they, like, you have to hold them. They were, like, throwing them at you.
Right, but, they don't have to eat anything.
Yeah,
the thing is, I feel like eating so much harder than doing this, so I would prefer this situation. And think about it, it's 8 minutes.
Okay, that's
you can do anything for 8 minutes, right?
That's a long time.
8 minutes.
Depends what the thing is. But then you also have to dig through it. Like the sudden death piece was not. That was hard.
Totally valid.
But I will have been concerned on that part, mostly because these bugs can crawl into your ears.
Yeah.
And that is dangerous, right?
And that happened on Survivor, and that was disgusting.
And it happened on Survivor, yes. Mm-hmm. So I think that will have been, personally, my only concern. Like, what if one of these motherfucking bugs get inside of my ear then I'm RFK and have my brain chomp out, right? So
do they have earplugs? I forget.
I don't know. I can go and I'll rewatch and I'll let you.
They should.
Maybe they had something to block the ear cavity.
I will have requested one.
Going back to Survivor though, real quick, it happened on Ko-Rong, season 32. For those that want to know, is that the only time that has happened just on that season?
So I don't know about ear stuff, but people have talked about getting parasites from Survivor that have then affected them long-term medically. So I do there's levels of yes, the producers aren't going to let you die, but they can't control medical stuff that might.
Okay. Well, Survivor bugs are different than the bugs that they throw on you in the Traitors.
That's very true.
They are dumping maggots on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more opportunity. Go for it.
Yeah, apparently it has only happened to Jenny on Ko-Rong. So that's the only recorded bug going, that we know of.
Couple days, right? Because we see the scene where it's coming out of the ear. But
2 days.
2 days. You're hearing something in your ear for 2 days. That is more torture than almost anything.
Right. And you don't know that it's going to be 2 days, right? Like you think it could be forever. No, and that was not fun. She also seemed like she was in so much pain. I felt really bad for her.
I was just laughing when Gabby was like, "You'll be hearing from my lawyers." That was so funny. Well,
no, Gabby is a comedy queen, and I'm here for it.
She was like, "I didn't know Ivar was going to be alive this morning," and he's like, "Right here."
Hey, hello. Good morning.
That was so dumb.
That was
so funny.
Oh, Lauren, I was thinking of you when they killed Bob H, though, when Rob killed Bob H. I was like, oh, Lauren's favorite is gone. Because it was right after, it was the episode after we did our podcast.
My favorite. That is a huge step in the direction. I said the person I was most surprised that I was not expecting anything from. I was thinking Bob H was going to be in the Ivar, the Sam route. I was incorrect. Love you, Bob H. Glad that you were on the season. You deserved your spot. Kudos to you. But not my favorite. No. That's
maybe it's like a tier for me. It means someone.
Maybe it's a tier. Yeah. I was sad about Bob H going. And that's the rough thing about being a faithful. You just never know when you can go. And that's where people go. If you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, that's where they say, I need to get you out of the game, need to eliminate you, because that's the route that they almost have to go for them to play a better Traitors game. And that's where we're running into with the people not talking. Bob H was talking, and that's why we see him get an exit.
Right. And I think Rob is Rob is the mafia type player. You make one offhanded comment where it could possibly be Rob, and you're gonzo. Because I feel, I can't remember, but I feel like Bob H didn't even vote for Rob in that elimination. Maybe he did, but he wasn't like coming hard for him. He made 2 comments about like playing devil's advocate,
Yeah.
and then
Dead.
Rob was like, "Bye."
Hi.
All I'm saying is we moved way too fast and we did not even talk about how good these people looked at the bug challenge.
Go
We
for
didn't
it. Take it away.
All
about
the outfits.
the outfits.
Everybody's serving.
They all looked gorgeous.
I'm wondering if
Sorry,
they
we
have.
had to talk about it.
No. I was thinking about it because I was like, if these people ever call me to play this shit,
Oh,
like
they give
I
you
will have.
clothes.
Will they? Because like I only have fucking sweatshirts and jeans.
I feel like this
the
mission
wedding
they got the clothes.
Yeah, for this particular
Because
the wedding outfits were definitely given to them. I think generally, like in the confessional and in the
I don't see Boston Rob having that sort of suit.
Yeah. No.
on
But
hand.
in general, are they invest? I will have to ask Caroline if they are invested on their day-to-day outfits, or if they have like, I don't know, a fashion consultant or somebody that's like providing clothing for them. Because I know that for my reunion, I asked ModCloth for help, and they sent me a huge box with a lot of clothing, and then they let me keep it. But I don't know if it's the same here because everybody is serving so good.
They are.
Outfits
So good.
eating.
They're so good.
And then the outfits at the end, when they were all going, those that were having to get murdered and face to face. Oh, I can't believe Gabby Wendy. Oh, love her. Anyways, moving on.
I think she was on a different podcast talking about that, and I think I think for the like non kind of challenge related outfits, it's the same thing that you did, Lyrsa, of like contacting brands.
Contacting brands. Okay.
I don't think the producers are giving you like your day to day or your confessional.
Yeah, it feels like just like the mission clothes that are all the same. They probably get.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like the wedding dresses, like things that, even the most delusional housewife wouldn't necessarily put in their closet.
Especially like the reds and the black. Anyways, moving on. I just had to.
You
I
had
had
to put
to
it
hold
out.
space for the fashion of that mission because it was so. Everybody was
So
eating,
good.
We got it.
serving, everything.
We slotted it.
Caroline has been serving from day one.
I feel like
Her
everyone
outfits
loves in future seasons. She is bringing love to the Traitors. Realness.
I think you misspoke though, Lyrsa. You said you were going to ask Carolyn about it. You sure you aren't going to hit up Boston Rob and ask him?
Your best friend.
Fuck that shit. I'm telling you guys, he must know. I am very surprised because I'm very vocal and I know how reactive he is when people doesn't like him. So I'm very I mean, I probably do not exist in his universe, right? And that's why. But I'm very surprised.
That's okay.
Thank you. But I don't understand how nobody has said anything to me from the family. Like, girl, you need to shut up because you're like super like against this dude that is so powerful in the family. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna ask him. I'll ask Carolyn.
You've given him his props though, because needless to whatever you have to say about Boston Rob, you have given his props. He does bring something to the table every time he's in a game. There's entertainment there, whether you like him as a person or you don't. He is going to serve you something. He's never going into a game and is going to be a dud. He's going to deliver. No matter how long he lasts for, he's going to provide something to the show. And that is what I do enjoy about watching Boston Rob play. I think I'm Boston Robbed out. Too many shows for me. But again, I see why they have him come back. It's the same thing with Parvati. Parvati keeps coming back.
I love Parvati.
Parvati's hot.
Parvati is hot, Laura.
Boston Rob is hot. And I don't even like that.
Boston Rob was hot.
The Bravo show was very attractive.
Yeah.
I love Parvati. I really
Parvati
do.
also okay, but to that point, I feel like there's not this Parvati exhaustion because she's not Boston Rob where he tries to like control everybody in every single game.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just likes to be there and
she's more subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she took a longer break from reality TV than he did too. Like we didn't see her for like 12 years.
Yeah, we didn't see her. Yeah. And now they must have the same
everywhere. Yeah. And then this morning I found out that he went to BU too. And I was like, fuck. No.
So Boston in Boston, Rob.
I know.
Boston.
Yes.
I know.
Now he's in Florida, so you're more
fine.
Boston than he is right now.
Well, speaking of Boston, Rob, we'll continue on this trend because this is relevant it is relevant. Do you think he could have done anything different aside for targeting Brittany on this last round? Is there someone else that he should have tried to go for, or was that the move the only chance for him to stay?
I feel like he didn't defend himself enough. I feel like his strategy was attacking Brittany and giving reasons why Brittany could be a traitor and not giving people reasons why he isn't a traitor. I mean, he was, but like,
yeah,
I feel like he didn't do himself enough favor being like, guys, it's not me and this is why. But I also feel like he maybe just at that point was like, there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
His ego was his demise. There was evidence every time that somebody mentioned his name, he killed them. Right? Yeah. That's the evidence. It's right there. You cannot defend yourself.
That's why I was like, guy, don't kill everybody that speaks about your name. You need a shield.
Yeah, I think if he'd left,
it's his ego.
Yeah, ego got the best of him.
Yeah,
his ego got the best of him.
I will say at that round table. Sorry, Emily, you can continue.
No, you go.
No, you go.
Oh my God, both of you!
Oh, listen, one of you go. I hear Derek.
This is the most polite podcast. No, you go. No, you go.
Yes, I was just gonna say. My point is that like, if Dylan was all like up in Rob's business, why did he throw him under the bus like that? And also, why did nobody be like, Dylan, that's a little suspicious that nobody else can back you up? That Derek, who is no longer in this game, came to you and said, if I get murdered, it's these two people.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe that's the gamer in me, but I'd be like, okay, that's a little suspicious because nobody can back you up on that. And also, why are you bringing that up?
Right.
Because if I was Dylan, I'd want to keep Rob around. So that way he can either recruit me or he doesn't kill me. But now you just threw him under the bus. You threw him to the wolves. That's where he's not a gamer, but I would be suspicious of Dylan.
But I wonder if Dylan probably wasn't going to mention the Boston Rob of it all until other people started suspecting him. Because I feel like even when Derek said that, at least in the beginning, it seemed like Dylan was like, yeah, Brittany's probably a traitor, but not Boston Rob. But then other folks brought his name up and he maybe had a realization of like, oh shit.
And literally Derek only said Brittany was a traitor because they had an argument.
I know that was dumb. Well, Derek, I feel like I'm not thinking Sierra was a traitor because she swore. So
yeah,
it was not Derek's best game. I don't think it was whatsoever. But going back to the murder of Derek, so my issue with that is all three of you came into the game together. Keep one of you in just for that alone, because that way you still have that shield as another potential option moving forward. Yeah. But it's even going to, I think, in the turret, Rob, and it's just him as a player, always wanted to have that control. Him and Danielle. Danielle's the same way. But one time, just let Carolyn have it. Let her have her one go, because what she is saying is pretty valid. She's making good points, but she's not having the ability to just say, shut the fuck up. This is what we're doing. Listen to me this round. And if it all goes to shit, you can get rid of me in, the round table. That's what she should have said. She should have said, you know what?
Yeah.
If he's not giving them autonomy to do anything. And that's why when he was shocked that he was like, why is Carolyn doesn't trust me? Like, I've given her every reason to trust me. I'm like, no, you haven't, because every time she speaks in the turret, you dismiss her. So like, if you let her have a kill, like, she would have been more on your side.
No, it's the same thing with alliances. You have to have a balance with people. You have to give them a little something to get something in return. And that's where you see the big threats go, even in such as a Survivor game. They always want to have full control on it. And then at that time, some other people, they're like, you know what? They're not listening out. They're not hearing what I have to say. I'm going to go to someone that is hearing what I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the, like, because they killed all the loud people too. It's like, well, at the round table, there's really only two names right now. And like, I feel like everyone, and, props to Danielle and Carolyn, because I do think they're going pretty under the radar now, but it's like, who else are we going to pick from it? We're not, Ivar, Gabby, like none of these folks seem traitor-esque. And I think that you have to know that there's going to be at least one loud traitor.
they go after my Gabby. So
I know. I think when
My
Dylan keeps
Gabby.
voting for her. Knock it off.
Let's
but
talk
I'm
about the
hopeful that
teams.
I'm hopeful that now that Carolyn will have more autonomy because it's just her and Danielle, and I'm hopeful they can just put down their swords and like move on.
It
I don't
seemed
think
like
they're
they
gonna
had
get
that.
arrested. I feel like they're done. Yeah.
It seems like they had that, like, we both tried to go after each other. It didn't work. We're here. We got Rob out. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then they have to murder somebody face to face.
I know.
I'm so excited for that.
Are they going to recruit? Is my question.
I don't think so.
There's too few left.
So you think
There's
this
not
is
enough
it?
numbers.
I think they would have recruited if they didn't start with 4.
Yeah.
Right. So we're saying we think this is it. It's just down to these two.
They might, because I forget which UK or Australia season that they recruited somebody that like towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, with murdering face to face, I'm like, okay, but nobody else is in the room.
Yeah.
So like
nobody will know.
When they're all like, oh my god, the person who gets murdered is gonna know who's a traitor. Okay, they're out of the game.
Right, exactly.
Like, what's this big?
It's for their personal benefit. You know who you're killing.
They're gonna find out eventually when they read the freaking thing.
It's the reaction. That's what it is. It's the reaction ability. Like for them to be able to
they're
see.
They're gonna murder face to face. I'm like, okay, but nobody else. It's not like all 6 of them who are up for murder are there, and then they have to be like.
Can they fall through a trap door, please? Like, that's what I'm asking for. Whoever gets murdered, I just want to see them go through the trap door. You're done. Bye.
They might. I feel like they have a pretty big set budget, so
that's what I'm saying. And all you gotta have to do is have the little padding can be at the bottom, but make it tall enough. If it's Ivar, make it tall enough so his legs don't snap or anything like that.
He's safe.
Wow. So they said in the preview they're killing the most faithful. Who do you all think is the most faithful?
Dylan.
Ivar.
Ivar's safe.
I know.
Ivar is a furniture. It's Dylan. Dylan is the one that's vocal.
It's Dylan, Tom, Gabby, Carolyn, but obviously she's not gonna get killed. And then wasn't it
Dolores is still there.
Dolores. And Michelle? And Bob, was it Rob and Sierra? Or did they win?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so it wouldn't be Sierra.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Sierra.
Sam's not. No, I'm wrong. So Sam isn't there either, right?
No, so it's Chriselle, Dolores, Gabby, Carolyn.
Yeah.
And then Rob and Sierra? Tom and Dylan? Did I say Tom and Dylan?
I think Tom, because I think Sierra's good. Like Sierra, I think got a shield, didn't she?
Let's see.
Lyrsa's just gonna fact check all of this. Listen, this is the problem. Everything blends together when we do this, and we just get so excited with our points being. We want to manifest things that we want to see happen, but then we fail to forget who indeed has shields.
Next season will take notes.
And they should also do what Survivor does. And they should put a little shield next to your name if you have.
Yeah, so you know.
Brilliant, exactly. But again, there's so many minor things that you have to remember sometimes. And I think for us, we just want to see some people just get eliminated so badly that we just want to forget that they have safety.
I feel like it's Carolyn and Danielle's best interest to get rid of Dylan.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry, Emily. I just checked our draft and I'm like, oh, that's the last one for Emily R.
I also don't know if I think Dylan is the most faithful because it's also like Dylan has been an incorrect faithful. I know he clocked Bob,
but I
feel like he's had wrong reads since then.
But I feel like and this is where I'm reaching, is that with Danielle and Brittany's sort of swords down mentality. Will they kill Dylan to protect Brittany? Because he was the only one with Rob who was really going after Brittany.
Right. I guess I would hope that Carolyn would fight that because Dylan is clearly also like a big friend of Carolyn and like a good.
But do we see that?
Well, remember, he was the one who came up to her and was like, Danielle's saying your name. I'm going to try to convince her.
But I think that's the only time we have seen them that close.
Yeah. But we know Carolyn likes Brittany. She said she wants to protect Brittany. She said it like a few episodes ago that she really likes Brittany.
I don't think it's going to be either Brittany or Gabby. I think they're
It
safe.
better not be Gabby, because I will go there. to
I'm not
Scotland
gonna
in the
lie
past.
though. I hate saying this. Gabby wouldn't be a bad choice. Like I like Gabby a lot. Let's not get that twisted. However, not a terrible option because
I
we've
think
seen the Dylan get shut down already before. That's where I have my hesitation where I don't think it would be Dylan. But is Gabby a really bad choice? I don't
think-
know.
Emily,
Go.
I think
Oh, mira.
based on your point though about Gabby, okay, I love Gabby, so like whatever. But I think in my head, a good strategy for Danielle and Carolyn in the turret would have been like, you protect somebody, I protect somebody, then we go after, then we'll figure it out. Danielle's protecting Brittany, so Brittany's not up for elimination, but I think Carolyn wants to keep Gabby because of what they just went through in the challenge. I think Carolyn knows that Gabby's on her side, Bambi adjacent, Carolyn being Bambi adjacent, and I think that they're with Brittany, so I feel like Carolyn's going to want to keep Gabby because I feel like she's giving enough, but she's not saying their names.
Yes, but also
I'm just giving strategy to keep Gabby.
That's playing with your heart a little bit there. All we've just
Carolyn plays with her heart.
I know that. Like that.
I know that. That's what I'm talking about, though. This is the Traitors.
See, I think it would.
I think Danielle's I think she's cutting Dylan or Tom.
I think Tom or Dolores would be good to kill because no one's really because people know that they're not traitor. Like you don't want to kill someone that folks might suspect of being a traitor,
right?
Whom Gabby falls into that camp. I guess Dylan does not fall into that camp. So I think it will be Dylan, but I think that's actually not the smartest move.
You think it's Dylan for sure? For sure.
I don't think it's Dylan for sure, but I just think in their minds, I feel like they think the most faithful is Dylan. But I think that you want to kind of kill someone who people.
You make a good point with Tom. I think Tom could be considered a faithful because nobody thinks at all he could be a traitor.
And he sort of got, I feel like he shot to the wall 20 times and made it one time this most recent, and that's great. But like he's mostly been kind of just spouting out weird theories.
And selfishly, I want another man being murdered because we were on a good train of them going away, so they can keep going.
I think it's gonna be another guy, and it's between Dylan, Ivor, and Tom. And I'm going
Ivor
with Dylan.
Ivor is safe.
Why he's safe? What did I miss?
Got the ring first.
Oh yeah, he got the fucking ring. True. Sorry guys, I am on medication. My brain is mush.
I haven't remember any of the.
But this is what I was talking about. You're manifesting because you want to see Ivar just get out of here. That's what it is. That's why you can't remember that Ivar's safe.
I think if Ivar wasn't safe, they'd probably go for him.
I would hope so at this point. Like, good bless us all. Just leave the game. That's all I can say.
I think they're gonna kill Dylan because Tom is so erratic. Yeah, his ideas are crazy. People don't trust his ideas. He's still having that feud with Chriselle, and they keep voting for each other. So I think it's gonna be Dylan. Sorry, Emily.
I think Dylan's gonna be protected here. My vote's gonna go on Tom for this one because I think with Tom going, that might not shift anything amongst the house there. I think if Dylan goes, there's going to be maybe potential speculation on the two traitors more so than if Tom went, because if Tom goes, was Tom really targeting the Danielle of it all? Was Tom really targeting the Carolyn of it all? No, not at all.
And I do feel like Tom, because he got robbed, I think he's getting a little too smart for his britches,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm putting a lot of faith into them being that smart. Not that they're not smart, but I don't know if they're seeing like, okay, Tom's been throwing all these ideas. When is it going to land on us? Mm-hmm. Like Dylan's not throwing out other people except for Brittany and Rob, and Rob's gone. Where Tom's he's literally the Spider-Man meme for everybody. Mm-hmm. So like, at what point is it going to land on one of them?
So 2 votes for Tom, 2 votes for Dylan. Is that correct?
Someone else. Watch it be.
It is Gabby.
No.
I made my point, but I would prefer Tom.
No,
I know.
Gabby.
At this point, I've convinced myself Tom. I'm convinced on Tom. So but I am saying I did mention Gabby's name. So hopefully I didn't manifest that there. But I'm locking in on Tom. I'm on the button. I'm on the buzzer, and hit me with the draft update. Who has who left? Who do we think has the best chance to win this game? Because this is why I love doing the podcast, because we are not correct on many things, but we have fun.
I sent the update.
Just like the faithfuls.
So Emily R has only Dylan.
Hanging on by a thread.
Wait, so you picked Dylan to go this round, even though that's the person that's left?
I really don't want Dylan to go.
At first I said Dylan, but I'm switching to Tom.
Oh, so we have 3 votes for Tom. Sorry, Lyrsa.
I don't care. I'm still gonna vote for Dylan.
That's fine. Originally I thought I had a 2-2 split. Now we have a 3-1 split.
Yeah, I think we convinced Emily.
Are we gonna put $5 on this one now?
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're
Like, no, stop taking money away.
So we already have 20.
Emily R only has Dylan remaining. Emily F, I have Brittany, Gabby, and Sierra remaining. Which I'm happy because I feel like Sierra's kind of gone to the side because no one's thinking about her anymore.
Yeah, I think Sierra's in a much better spot than she was a couple weeks ago. I agree with that.
I do think people are convinced she's a faithful. Like, I think most folks think she's a faithful. I don't think she'll get.
I am worried about Brittany and Gabby getting heat, but you know what? They're my queens. So you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Lyrsa has Dolores, Ivar, and Tom remaining.
I'm surprised that I have like a lot of people left.
And Lauren has Chriselle, Danielle, and Carolyn left.
Now, let's talk about Chriselle here, folks. All right?
Oh, girl.
She's
so not a gamer.
No,
so lost, this poor girl.
I do love her petty revenge against Tom.
Yes.
She says, I don't care what's happening.
Too. We knew that from Selling Sunset, but home with the fashion.
Does Chriselle know what Chriselle know the show that she's on? Does Chriselle know? Okay. I'm just checking because my goodness, when I picked you for my draft team, I had a lot more faith, and now you make me take pause because
she's just not a gamer. But to me, I think she's good for the end.
Yeah, I think she might make it to the end, like whether or not they figure it out.
Perfect.
At the Trader. I think no one is suspecting her. And yeah, I think we'll have to see. My one wondering that I'm realizing is I think most of the faithful or most of the team probably thinks there's only one traitor left. Maybe they thought they could recruit. But so like if, let's say in a future roundtable, they find a traitor and there's, at this point, I'm assuming there's only 2, like, are they going to think the game is just over because they don't realize that there's 2 traitors? Or will Alan tell them that they never tell the number of traitors, right? They never tell.
No.
Okay.
I think the game would just keep on going. I think it wouldn't even be mentioned. Alan would probably just say, see you in the morning, whatever it may be.
Right, but
it's
I guess
only at the end.
A traitor because someone will get fired.
Yeah, it's only at the very end when they're like, you have to get a traitor out.
Right.
Or they don't. But
it's a good season. It really is. I'm enjoying it. We're lacking the gamers. A lot of the gamers left, which in theory makes sense for the traders. So they are doing something correctly. They're getting rid of the people that are able to articulate what could or could not be happening within the game. Let's do this. My other question being comparisons to season 1, season 2. Where is season 3 landing for you currently?
Oh, it's so good. It's so messy. I love it. It's so like, it's just so chaotic. And that's what I feel like I love more because it's like you have people who just don't know what they're doing. And that to me makes it fun.
I think I personally, as discussed, am like less of a fan of this season than I have in the others. I don't like the steam. I didn't like the steamrolling from the jump. I like my traders to be a little more cohesive, but I respect that others have different preferences. And so, yeah, I think like now that there's at least women around who are like, I feel like the gender balance being better now is making it more enjoyable. But there were some episodes in the middle when there was so many men and so much Boston Rob that I was like,
Yeah, that's a good point about the steamroll.
Yeah.
And Rob doing whatever he wanted, but it just made good TV.
But I
do agree.
Enjoyed it, and it's each their own.
Lyrsa, what do you got?
I'm loving this season because it's so messy. So messy. And the more messy, the more I like. Because I love crazy people on my TV. Not crazy people. Oh my God, I just said that. It sounds terrible. I love messy people on my TV because they bring me joy.
You are like that Marie Kondo meme where she's like, I love mess. And that's
I love mess. In my personal life, very clean. But seeing others be messy, I love it. I also feel like it's that feud between the traitors that is making me like it, because you don't know what the fuck is going to happen because they're not cohesive, right? So anything can happen, and I love not having, like, seeing people not having a plan and see what the fuck happens. So I think it's from the 3 seasons, I think it goes 3, 2, and 1, unfortunately.
I agree.
Okay.
Lauren, what about you?
I'm a Hot Mess Express gal. Let's be clear here. You know I love it so much. I don't need it to be clean cut. Clean cut, boring. Very, very boring. I don't want that. I want the bickering. I want the shock factor. I want the arguing. The turrets have been some of the best moments of the season because you have to think the betrayal just happened. Oh my goodness, I have to take off my hood and stare you down and be like, what did you just do, motherfucker? Love it. Guys, I can't complain. Great season. It better have a good ending. If Ivar is at the end of this game and Sam is at the end of this game, this season decreases significantly for me.
True.
Right. I guess we can't fully, I mean, we're not going to know until there's a bookend for sure how we feel about like the season vis-a-vis the others, which have complete stories.
Yes. When we get the complete ending, we will make our selections of the rankings again. But with that being said, anything else that we want to cover before we send ourselves away? Perfect. I think we hit the ground running. We may or may not be back next week. We're kind of just a hit or miss podcast, which is the way we like it. Adds to the Hot Mess Express. Lyrsa has something to drop.
Can you high five yourself like Emily before you start?
I am, sorry, again, foggy brain, and multitasking. I'm so behind in my life. Like, I'm behind a week and a half. I want to give special props to Carolyn because nobody is suspecting her.
No.
I don't know how or why. Nobody has ever, except Danielle, because she's messy.
And she also knows. She's not suspecting it's a fact.
Yeah, she knows, right? It's not like, oh, I don't know. No, she knows. I think Carolyn is playing a brilliant game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nobody's suspecting her. The moves that she wanted to make in the game that were not accepted will have been great moves. Yeah. She knows what she's doing. And I love that everybody is underestimating her as same as they did on Survivor. And she made it to the final 3. So girl, I am loving you here. You are doing great. I am really upset.
Eat up my words.
Yeah, I'm eating my words. And I am so sorry that I didn't pick you on my draft. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, you did at the end, but still.
I'll take a Carolyn win. I wouldn't complain about that. I still have Danielle and the. See, listen, I'm blessed. I have both traitors. Okay, I am a blessed person here, and I have Chriselle. Sorry, Chriselle.
It's so funny how quickly the game changes because I feel like at our last time we were like, oh Lord, I don't know, Danielle or Carolyn out the door. Good luck.
Listen, though, you did have Boston Rob on your team. It wasn't a bad pick. Boston Rob did deliver this season, so it was not a terrible pick.
And I feel like if he didn't get rid of Derek, I feel like he would have made it another week.
I think so. But I do think it would have been week for him. Like, I didn't think taking it to the end because he does play so hard. And I do feel like him coming so confidently for Bob the Drag Queen. Again, confident because he has knowledge that other people don't. You know, that I think that if he hadn't done that, I wonder if he would have lasted longer.
He doesn't know how to play softly.
Yes, that's true. And also, none of us picked Sam, right?
Nope.
No, but remember we intentionally did not choose Sam.
Oh, I know that. My biggest
Because
concern-
we were so mistaken by him, and at least I forgot, and I thought he had been really bad to Brittany, and
Yeah, same. And then he's not. So I take it.
yeah,
back.
he's not. He just said like, I don't want to be here anymore, and they just
he's
broke
not
up.
great. He's not. He was not fully out of the drama, but he was not as
Yeah.
bad as we thought he was. So I take that back. But you know what?
Yes.
I still didn't want him on my team. So
Yeah.
the
Oh,
pick
I didn't
worked
want him on
out.
my team. Yeah.
My concern is though, I just
he's not winning
don't
this
need
game.
Sam at the end because there's
He's not
$20 on the line, and I need the $20 to go somewhere and not just stay in my bank account. I would prefer all the money. Don't get me wrong, but I would like to send it off. If
You know what?
will.
If that happens, we all just have a nice meal in his honor.
Yes, yeah, we can go.
Yes.
We can have an $80 dinner together.
Perfect. Well, that's that's only going to get us a little so far. Meals are expensive.
Yeah.
Meals are expensive these days. It's kind of crazy. But with that being said, thank you so much for joining me. It is always a blast, always a pleasure. We have fun here at the Reality After Show. And with that being said, be sure to check everything out that is going on at the Reality After Show. We have Dondi going, Deal or No Deal Island.
Good season.
People are loving it. Johnny is also covering the Traitors as well with Rachel. Be sure to check them out. Australian Survivor is going to be hitting the ground running next week. Some type of draft for that will be occurring. More details to follow. I'm still trying to figure all that out. And we are also getting US Survivor at the end of this month. So much is happening. A lot of Survivor going on. That's going to be a ton, but we're here for it. We'll be back maybe next week, maybe the following week. We don't know. If it's a good episode, we will be back. And with that being said, thank you so much again for joining me, and everyone have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.